Hola estudiantes, qué lástima que no estoy con ustedes. Estoy en casa, mi hijo está enfermo. But that doesn't mean we can't do go verbs, woohoo! Okay, so this is a small group of verbs that a lot of times are referred to go verbs because they have irregular yo forms like tener, tengo, okay? And those verbs are listed here that we're going to work with today, so you can write them down. Pause this video and write the verbs down. Okay, hacer, poner, salir, tener, traer, venir, decir, and dar. And dar has a asterisk beside it because it doesn't actually do the go thing at the end, but it's an irregular yo form and it's in this chapter. So let's look at this a little closer. Okay, so these are grouped together because, remember, I told you that if you look at the verb tener and you think about the yo form, what's the yo form of verbo tener? That's right, tengo. Okay, and you're going to see what happens to some of these other verbs in a minute. Okay, if you said tengo, that was correct. So what do you think the yo form of venir is going to be? And then you'll understand all of these verbs. If tener becomes tengo, venir becomes vengo. That's right, vengo. Okay, so you're going to see that all of these verbs have go in them. So if tengo what came from venir and vengo comes from venir, what do you think is going to happen to salir and poner? If you said yo salgo and yo pongo, then you got it right. These are go verbs. Salgo, pongo, digo, vengo, tengo. Okay, the go verbs. Okay, so there's more. There's a few that are a little strange, like hacer goes hago, so it loses the C. Okay, traer becomes traigo, and notice it loses the E, and that becomes an I. Okay, and dar, like I said earlier, doesn't do any of these things. Dar is doy, looks like soy. And it's in this group today because, like I said, it's in this chapter, and it's an irregular yo form, like all of these are irregular yo forms. But be careful, I here and no C in the yo form. Okay, so here's the list of the yo forms, okay? Repite, por favor. Yo hago, yo pongo, yo salgo, yo tengo, yo traigo, yo vengo, yo doy. Bien. Okay, so that doesn't mean that the other forms all have G-O in them, okay? They are regular. Please make a note of that. So, for example, you'll remember verbo hacer, even though it does yo hago, after that it does haces, hace, hacemos, y hacen, just like a regular ER verb, okay? It's still an ER verb. Okay, so venir works just like tener, okay? It's an E to IE stem changing verb, so this E in the yo form and in the root up here is going to become IE in the other forms, okay? So it fits in the boot except for the yo form is outside the boot and the nosotros form because it's a strange verb. Okay, so yo vengo, tú vienes, él, ella viene, nosotros venimos, ellos, ellas, ustedes vienen. Okay, so those fit in the boot, the ones with the arrows. Decir, oh, it doesn't like my picture, I'm sorry. There's an awesome little girl jumping here. I'll draw. Woohoo! Okay, so verbo decir, E is an E to I stem changing verb, so the E is going to become an I, okay? Yo digo, tú dices, él, ella, usted dice, nosotros decimos, ellos, ellas, ustedes dicen. Repite, por favor. Yo digo, tú dices, ella dice, nosotros decimos, Ellos, ellas, ustedes, dicen. Okay, so it's a stem change, E to I, just like servir. Except for, cha-cha, we have our awesome go in the beginning. Okay, why don't you try the verb dar? I'll tell you, it has an irregular yo form. That's it, doy, and then the rest is regular. So what do you think it's going to be? Tú das, él or ella or usted da, nosotros damos, ellos dan. So you just remove your root, okay? Your ending, sorry, you remove your ending, and the only root that you're left with is this, and then you have to add on the correct endings, like a regular AR verb, except for it has a yo form, so hoy, as, amos, ice, but we're not really worried about anymore, an. Okay? ¿Está bien? Okay. Salir. Okay, you try salir. Salir is a go verb, okay? So it's going to do the go at the beginning. But the rest of it is a regular IR verb. So go ahead and try to fill in the blanks. You can do it on your paper. And if you wrote salgo, sales, sale, salemos, salimos, lo siento, and salen, then you conjugated it correctly because it's an IR verb with a special yo form. Bien? And if you didn't remember from the beginning, salir means to leave or to go out. So you could say, I go out with friends. Salgo con amigos. You also probably remember if you ever seen an exit sign in Spanish, salida. Okay, and that comes obviously from salir. Okay? Bien. Okay, now you try. We have a little una mezcla here. You have to conjugate the correct form of the verbs that are in parentheses and put them in the sentence. Okay, you can pause the video to do this. And when you're done, you can go to the next slide where you'll find the answers. And notice that the subject here is after, so after the verb. Si blank unos amigos. They're saying, yes, if, because there's no accent, if some friends come, comma, we do something different. Okay, so here is if some friends come, okay? So you have to conjugate the verb venir with unos amigos. So if you complete that now, you can go to the... And you should have had, cuando yo tengo tiempo, salgo al parque. Si vienen unos amigos, nosotros hacemos algo diferente. Lo siento. Mis amigos dicen que pasar un rato juntos es muy divertido. Okay, you'll notice that the subject changed. You started with yo, then ellos, then nosotros, and then ellos again. Okay, so the conclusion, hopefully you got this from this lesson. You go verbs have irregular yo forms. Yo, hago, pongo, salgo, digo, tengo, traigo, vengo. Okay? The other forms of their verbs conjugate according to what kind of verb they are. So if it's an AR verb, then it's going to work like an AR verb. It's an ER verb, it's going to work like an ER verb. If it's an IR verb, it's going to work like an IR verb. And then lastly, I want you to remember that tener, venir, and decir are stem changing verbs that we looked at today. Okay, think about the boot shape, except for with the crazy yo forms. And let's not worry about vosotros. Okay? Hasta mañana.